Hi, I'm Tori from Me Time, and today I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks on the tiling scene from the Feeling Festive Bella Box. If you are new to Me Time and haven't visited our site before, we offer complete machine embroidery projects delivered right to your door in a subscription format. We have 4 great options to choose from, so head to metimedelivered.com to see more. This is the project we're talking about in this video. I love how all the blocks come together to create this adorable winter scene. It has a lot of sparkling details, fun fabrics, and then it is a new take on a project that we haven't done before in a Bella Box. You can hang it with extra rope provided in the box or stick it right to your wall. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 tips. 1, the yellow highlights in the instructions. 2, using water-soluble bobbin for tile number 3. 3, lining up your blocks. And 4, binding and finishing your project. Tip number 1 is watch for the yellow highlights in your instructions. These are areas that our testing team thought were more tricky. For example, in step number 4, it is the same for each block of the tiling scene. It reads, "Do not trim background fabric at this time." If you are familiar with our instructions, that is usually the step you would trim. So our testing team wanted to call this out. Tip number 2 is for tile number 3, where we have this cute pom-pom on the hat. After step 26 of your instructions, you are instructed to switch your bobbin thread to water-soluble thread or a visible color. Make sure to do that so that you can have this cute fringe pom-pom on top of the hat. You might have some water-soluble bobbin left over from the last Bella Box. After step 27, switch your bobbin thread back. Tip number 3 is to use clips to line up your blocks. First, grab 2 blocks and then line them up using landmarks from the tile scenes. Then flip them over and look for the stitch guide. Make sure that those major landmarks are still matching up, and then use some of our fabric clips and clip them right along the seam. And I do that along all the top. The more clips, the better. And then I flip it over and make sure that everything is still lining up where I clipped it. And then again, before I'm gonna sew it, I will open this and just make sure that everything looks correct. Once I have sewn this, I will continue to add rows and then sew the rows together to make the complete tile scene. All right, tip number 4 is binding. If you're familiar with binding, this part will be a breeze. If you're not, you will want to reference the binding methods PDF included in your instructions before you start. One thing you might be wondering is where to start your binding. We recommend that when you start your binding, you start a few inches from a corner. It doesn't matter which corner, just any corner. This is going to show you what your finished project looks like, but for this video purpose, I have a different binding. Another thing that can be tricky when it comes to binding is the corners. So I'm going to show a quick clip of how we did the corners on our collectible Christmas tree skirt. See how first you go straight off the edge, then you fold the corner at a 45-degree angle, and then you sew down the other side. The last thing I wanted to mention about binding is finishing it off. When you get to the point that you have sewn all but a few inches off your final side, you will follow the instructions to finish off the edge. I lay one piece of fabric down and then let the other one overlap. You're going to let it overlap the width of your binding. So if this is 2 inches, then I'm going to have this overlap the other piece of fabric by 2 inches. Then you are going to open them up and place them right sides together. And you're going to pin them and then sew at a right angle across the line. Don't trim this yet. I would open it back up and make sure that your seam lays flat across your project, because at this point, if it doesn't lay flat, then you can unpick it and restitch it. But once it does lay flat, you can go in after you've stitched and trim it down. Then clip the extra binding and finish your edge. Thanks for joining. Be sure to like and subscribe for more tips and tricks from me time. You can also watch our other videos from the Feeling Festive Bella Box for the teacup zipper pouch tutorial and other tips and tricks for the polar bear project. Now go enjoy some well-deserved me time.